Okay, so yesterday I made a tweet that made a lot of people angry, like really angry. Someone tweeted and was like, "Give your hottest Roblox take," and I retweeted it and I said, "Most brain rot games are more fun than a lot of the old Roblox games were back in the day. Games like the old obbies and the old tycoons." And that made a lot of people angry. And some of you guys are probably watching this right now and you're probably, you're so angry hearing that. But hear me out. Hear me out. Because I think a lot of people, when talking about old Roblox, they really have on rose tinted goggles. They really kind of get blinded by nostalgia a little bit. So, for reference, I started playing Roblox in 2016. I used to stream a lot of those games 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I was there. I was in the trenches, you know? And it's funny, a lot of the people that were replying to that tweet, I checked their Roblox profiles. They joined in like 2020, 2021. They weren't even around. They're like, yeah, the old tycoons were so good. Man, I used to love them. Bro, you didn't even play Roblox back then. You're like 8. anyway, anyway, I feel like a lot of people are blinded by nostalgia. So, like, what I mean by that is, yeah, Roblox as a company kind of sucks right now. But in terms of like actual games, Roblox has never been better. There are more high quality games on Roblox right now than there has ever been. Blocktails, for example, that didn't exist 10 years ago, right? Rivals, amazing game. That didn't exist 10 years ago. That I could go on. There's so many. You guys know what they are, right? There's so many awesome high quality games on Roblox that just did not exist 10 years ago. Um, let me further dive into this. So 10 years ago, every single day there'd be like a new big obby on the front page, and it'd be like the number one game, right? And it'd be like Escape McDonald's obby, or Escape Cafeteria Lady obby, or Escape Evil Teacher obby. And all of these obbies were basically the exact same obby, except, instead of an evil teacher, it'd be like an evil cafeteria lady or something like that. And they pretty much had the same obstacles, the same traps, the same, jumps. Like, it was pretty much the exact same. And everyone's like, "Oh man, yeah, but they did it for passion. They did it for the love of the game back then." No, no, they did not. No, they did not. I don't know if you guys remember the Pack Stabber obbies. Those games were literally made to be an advertisement for his YouTube channel. At the top of the obbies, it literally was like, subscribe to Packstabber. They were made to be an advertisement. I don't know if you guys remember, but whenever you spawned into all these obbies, you'd get like the pop-ups or the things on the side that's like, hey, you can buy extra lives, or you can buy this rainbow carpet that'll let you, fly through the obby, or you can buy this thing or buy that thing. There were a lot of microtransactions in those obbies. I guess people are like kind of like blinded by nostalgia a little bit. I'm not saying that some of them weren't fun. There were some really good obbies back in the day, right? But a lot of them were just not that great. They just weren't. I'm sorry. And I used to stream them 4, 5, 6 hours a day. All right. Every single day. They weren't that great. I'll be honest. They were not that great. There were some good ones, but they weren't that great. Now, let's talk about obbies. I mean, let's talk about tycoons. We just talked about obbies. Let's talk about tycoons. I never liked tycoon games. You can go back like 10 years ago and watch my streams. Most tycoon games on Roblox, like 10, 11, 12 years ago, they were bad. I'm sorry. Let me explain why. They were designed in a way where there was no grow offline mechanic. You had to be in the game in order to make the money. They were designed in a way so that you literally had to stay in the game for hours to complete the tycoon, or you had to spend Robux. Now, there were some good tycoon games out there, but the majority of them were very, very simple. It was like military tycoon or build a base tycoon or whatever. And you would basically just build a floor, build another floor, build another floor, build another floor. And all you did in those games were basically wait for your money to pile up and then move over a segment on the floor, and it would generate another floor for the tycoon. And you would do that. It basically, I'm not even joking. I did a stream where I didn't spend Robux on it. It took like 5 hours to beat one tycoon. It was just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. They were so boring back in the day. They were so boring. And they were designed in a way, like I said, to where you had to spend Robux to buy money in the game to progress to the final stage of the tycoon. Else you had to literally spend 5 hours in the game. I don't know where all this revisionist history is coming from of like, oh man, they were made for passion and love and joy. No, they were not. I was there. I streamed them every day. They were not. In fact, people used to hate them every day. Oh my God. People used to hate the fact that there was another, oh, here's another escape cafeteria obby. Here's another escape the school obby. People used to hate them. Now suddenly everyone loves them because you're only remembering the good things about them. Like I said, there were some good ones out there. There were some good ones out there. Don't get me wrong. But the majority of them were not that great. And I see this happens a lot in the Roblox community and a lot in the Roblox space. People will hate something whenever it's like popular, and then like 3, 4 years later, they'll love it. Like, for example, Jailbreak. If you played Roblox in 2018, and you can go back, you can check the tweets. People hated that Jailbreak was the front page of Roblox. They hated that it was the biggest game on Roblox, that it was the poster child for Roblox. People used to call it overrated and that it sucked and that any game was better. I used to get comments all the time. Why don't you just go play actual GTA instead of playing rip-off GTA on Roblox? Right? But now here we are 10 years later. Oh my God, Jailbreak. We loved you, Jailbreak. We loved you, right? People switch up. People switch up. It's the same thing with Piggy. When Piggy came out in 2020, it was the biggest thing on Roblox. It used to get so much hate on Twitter. I used to get death threats for playing Piggy. Like, oh my God, Kreek, you're playing this kid's game. You're playing this dumb Peppa Pig game. What are you doing, dude? And here we are 5 years later. Man, I miss Piggy. Piggy was the best. Why can't we go back to those days? People just remember the good things. They don't remember the bad things. There were a lot of really, really bad stuff back in the day on Roblox. There were a lot of games that just were not that great. And people just remember the good ones. They don't remember the whole story. And when it comes to these brain rot games, yeah, a lot of these brain rot games suck. There's a lot of brain rot games out there that just suck. But look, still a brain rot. It is actually really fun. Get some friends together. Get Kayla's, get Stay, get Fulton together, play it again. It's actually pretty fun. I'll die on that hill. It's a fun game. Grow a Garden is a fun game. I know plenty of adults that play Grow a Garden. It's a nice, chill game. It was, it's kind of not so much chill anymore. There's too much in the game right now, but that's a whole nother story for another time. But it's a great game, right? There are a lot of games out there that are actually fun they're not like the greatest games of all time, right? Like, of course, they're not the greatest games of all time. Still, Brain Rock, Rogue Garden, they're not the greatest games of all time. They're not even on my top 10 list of Roblox games, right? But they're fun. I can understand why people play them. I just for the record, my top 10 list on Roblox is Piggy, Jailbreak, Arsenal, Doors, Rivals, Tower of Hell, just to name a few there. ETOH, even though I haven't played it much, I have a lot of respect for that game. Pokemon Brick Bronze, that one's probably up there. Those are none of these games are on my top 10 list. Like, everyone calm down. But let's not sit here and say, oh my God, Roblox used to be so much better. These obbies were made for passion and love. No, the heck they were not, dude. Go play them. They were not. They were literally templates copied and pasted. They were not. I'm sorry. They were not.